Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Pivotal Moments with Lolita. I am honored to have these two gentlemen with me today for the conversation. These are two of the founders of Black Coffee.
Thank you once again. I truly appreciate you sharing your platform with us, allowing us to share our journey. Thank you for reaching out and just having such a collaborative mindset. Truly, that's been, I'd say, the number one driver of all of our success and our motivation is just collaborating with dope people, folks that we feel are all moving towards the same goals. Jamin Butler, one of the five co-founders of the Black Coffee.
Love it, love it. Yes, welcome to the conversation. All right, Leonard, I'm going to turn it over to you to kind of just introduce yourself as well.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for sharing your platform with us. We truly appreciate it. My name is Leonard Lightfoot. I am one of the co-founders of the Black Coffee Company. Born and raised in Los Angeles, currently residing in the DC area.
Very nice. Awesome. Okay, well, we're going to get started this conversation. I'm super excited about just, again, all the things that you all are doing. So, of course, the whole theme of the conversation is pivotal moments. So, we're going to talk about pivotal moments as it relates to what you all have created in the Black Coffee. I keep wanting to add words to it, so that's why I'm kind of hesitating. But let's talk about, so what was the pivotal moment in deciding to open up your establishment, your organization, your empire? Talk about that.
I'd say the pivotal moment for us was a trip in 2015 that our collective took to Detroit, Michigan. One of Leonard's younger brother was actually getting his PhD in electrical engineering, I believe, from Michigan State. And on that trip, we had been traveling the world for over 15 years at that point. Spent, all-star weekend, islands, cruises, you name it. We did it all together, just partying and enjoying each other. But we always wanted to increase our numbers. We always felt that, as family members and community members, that we wanted to experience these journeys with us that weren't able to. And so it was when we went to Motown that we actually, we went to the Motown Museum in Detroit that actually sparked. We had that pivotal moment. Everybody knows about Berry Gordy and his legendary record label. You know about the Supremes, Diana Ross, Smokey Robinson, the Jackson 5. The list goes on and on and on. In fact, it became Hitsville. Legendary has created so much music and so much change in our world. But few people truly know the story of how Motown started, and that Berry Gordy actually went to his parents to get a loan from their family savings and loan program so that he could launch his record label. You see, Berry Gordy's family realized that in the 1950s, it was hard for Black people to get bank loans, for us to get funding and access to capital to pursue ventures. So they started a savings and loan program, and Berry was actually able to come to them, borrow $800 and launch his first record label. When we learned this story, when we understood the impact of having that access to capital and the pursuit of financial freedom that his parents started him for, that was our pivotal moment. We knew we wanted to do something together. We knew that we wanted to create enterprise and opportunity for people, but we didn't know how we were going to do it. That gave us the motto. We realized that we were going to create an investment club, and each month we were going to put up $50 in dues for each member, and that we were going to build our capital so that when we did have the great idea at the next pivotal moment, we would have an access to capital and the opportunity to be able to move forward.
Wow. Wow. Leonard, do you want to chime in on that?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's just a pivotal moment, but we've had a series of pivotal moments. So as Jamin mentioned, we started the investment club. That was what actually grew our friendship closer. We did the partying and went to weddings, but once you put money together, things get a little bit more serious, right?
Yes, yes.
But it was a really good thing, because it wasn't just that we were always friends, but when we put our money together, we start to have more financially intimate, more conversations. We all have the student loans, credit card, all these things are like weighing down on us. And so through those, for a couple of years, we did the investment club, and our friendship grew and trust. And so we wanted to kind of channel that passion for a business, since we were already had money together, we had capital. Then the pivotal moment was, we was actually on a conference call just like we are today. And like Jamin, myself, Brandon, we was drinking coffee. Prior to that, we had tons of different ideas, but we was like, hey, what about coffee? It was kind of like a joke at first, but we was like, wait, maybe there is something to this. So we treated it like a class project. We all went out. We took like action items from that aha moment, we call it, and we did our research, and we came back to the table. It was like, coffee is the #2 commodity of the world. I went to Costco, was just watching people buy coffee. I was like, I think we can do this, right? So that was our actual second pivotal moment.
Wow. And what I love about this story, so many things I love about it actually, but first of all, the fact that you allowed our history and the culture of our history move you. And that in itself is just so powerful. We read about certain things, we hear about certain things, but that's exactly what it should do. It should motivate us to give us, as they say, that permission to do the same. So I first applaud you on that. And then, you dispel some myths that are out there, right? So first of all, they say friends shouldn't go into business together. Okay, well, you've proved that wrong. And then Black men, coming together and forming a business. Again, check the box, you've done that. And then now you talk about investing money, and everything is always, historically and culturally, we have these challenges with money and saving and things like that, right? Again, you showed it can be done. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll let Jamin chime in on the research we found once, I did the market analysis. He dug a little bit deeper and learned about the origins of the coffee. Want to go ahead and share that story, Jamin?
For me, it was honestly when Leonard first proposed the idea of coffee, I was a little hesitant. But my focus was, this is 2017. It's the age of social media. It's the age of Black empowerment. It's the age of activism and conscious capitalism. I was thinking a little more tech-based, the direction that we would be going, as a startup. But after, doing our homework, we were given assignments, and looking into coffee. One, we discovered that, did you know what the #1 commodity on the planet is?
I was wondering when he said #2, I was like, well, what is the #1?
The #1 commodity on the world is oil. It means so oil in terms of the volume of that product that is shipped and traded and bartered and spent. It moves the global economy, right? Whole countries and nations rise and fall on the price of oil and the ability to buy and sell. Well, the #2 commodity is coffee. So that was an eye opener there. It's like, wait a minute, if I could own an oil field, I would. So why wouldn't you want to build a coffee farm, right? Okay, well, coffee. Let's look into that. Okay, what more is there? Brazilian coffee, Colombian coffee. Well, little did we know, or little did I know at the time, that all coffee, whether it was Cuban coffee, whether it was Peruvian coffee, you name it, it all had one point, a central point of origin. Every coffee bean, every coffee plant that has ever grown on this planet, it first began, that species started in the mountainous regions of Ethiopia. And when we started looking into that, in fact, that it was African women, Ethiopian women, who chewed the berry, because coffee starts as a fruit, starts as a berry, a little cherry, and it has layers over it. You can extract the bean from that, but it's a seed. But back then, women would chew the berry for productivity when they were harvesting and working out to build for their community. And so that was how they were able to, get using the land sustainably, gain energy and productivity off of this fruit. And then later settlers came over, they discovered it, found it, but this plant wouldn't grow in Europe and other regions. So they started planting it in fertile oils, fertile lands like Brazil, Colombia. So they transplanted the coffee plant from Ethiopia around the world in regions and soil where it would grow. And similar to how Black people were transplanted around the world and into different communities and environments, the coffee took on the properties of that soil. And just like Black folk, we take on the attributes of the surroundings and the communities that we're in. But just like coffee and just like Black people, it remains true to the source. So if you have a Brazilian cup of coffee, you have the Ethiopian cup of coffee, there's similarities that are always going to be there. Now, yeah, there's differences in the fruity and aroma and the level of caffeine, but at the source, it's the same product. And for us, it was just so eye-opening, and we just went deep down the rabbit hole. So I was like, okay, so there's some connectivity here to our shared experience, right? This was an opportunity for us to reclaim what some could consider the first Black business, right?
I am blown away. Oh my goodness. I will never look at coffee the same. Maybe that's why I have to have it.
Exactly. And neither have we. We haven't looked at it the same once we started doing this research. In fact, it was like, okay, so this is coffee. This is us. Well, my thing was, if we're going to do it, it has to be Black.
There you go. Ooh, wow. Wow. I mean, this is amazing. So what would you say, as we talk about, so you talked about the pivotal moments and going ahead and deciding to start, what would you say that you learned about yourselves, about just who you are, what's important to you? What did you learn about that in this process of starting this dream and going in this direction?
I'll start off. So like one of the things that I've like truly learned about myself is the value of time, right? Like no other. When we started this journey, we had three kids. We just had our newborn Carter when we launched the Black Coffee Company, and trying to get this off the ground, raise a young family. It definitely put things in perspective. I think prior to that, for all of us, we were just, I think content with maybe just climbing the corporate ladder. But having these things all come together at the same time, it was like, I need to do something that's like what I would like to do, and that's give back to the community. And like coffee was that perfect vehicle for us to like channel all that energy through. But we realized, we was climbing the corporate ladder, but at the same time, we was moving away from our community. And this gives us that opportunity to plant seeds right in our community, have a true impact. So we're just so happy to be on this journey and share our story. But that's one of the ways I've changed, and it's changed my perspective a lot on life.
Yeah, wow.
For me, I'd say that one of the ways that I've changed is that I've learned to be more fearless, to put it all out there. I used to consider myself somewhat confident, and that was what I tried to give off, the mask that we wore. But I realized that I was always limiting myself and afraid to truly put myself out there in business. That I always had a passion to create something and be our own boss and work with my brothers and do it 100% authentically us. But to take the courage to actually take those steps and to actually formulate that and put it out intentionally to the world so people can hold you accountable, I hadn't taken that step. So it wasn't until we came together that I had the courage. I said, okay, well, no matter what I do, I'm not going to fail because I got my brothers with me. We're going to support each other. We're going to work together. And, and haven't looked back from that moment. I mean, the day I went, Leonard tell you, I went and got the website. It was an easy thing to do. It was, I went over and over and over. Like, we going to do this? Are we going to call this business the Black Coffee Company? We hadn't even agreed as a team. I was like, to me, this had to be it. This was the way. It was a path. It was illuminating. Go get it and see what happens. And 3 years down the line, it's just been an amazing journey. And I looking 30 years ahead of us is going to be one of the best things that we do.
Wow. You said something that I just want to make sure stands out for those who are listening or watching. And that is, as long as I have my brothers with me, I cannot fail. I mean, that almost gets me emotional because it's like if we just can hold on to that mentality, and so many times we don't. Again, culturally, it can be a challenge, right? But think about the power that we have when we join together, when we stick together, when we have that mentality that as long as we have our brothers, our tribe, our girls, whatever it is, then we can't fail. That's powerful. That's very powerful. I'm so thankful that you shared that. Wow. So
Appreciate
now let's talk about the adjustment portion. So of course, the feel good moments and the why and all that is always amazing. But I always love to have my guests share the moments of adjustment. So you started this, you're excited and everything. So talk about when you had to kind of adapt to something that maybe wasn't as planned, maybe wasn't comfortable, when you had to make that adjustment.
I'll go. I'd say 2020 of all years, super pivotal. With COVID, that's in March. We was just positioned. We started online, right? We was already there in that space, and everybody pivoted to online. People needed coffee, so we was there to accept those blessings, right? And then come June, July of 2020. We had the opportunity present itself to do a coffee shop. That took a lot of discussion. Our fearless leader, Jamin, was the one, actually his wife, Erin, was like, you guys, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I mean, and we was like, true, but a lot of things is gonna change, right? And I think that was like that moment where we grew the most, because it wasn't just packaging coffee beans, sell them online. It took us a little bit out of our comfort zone, but this was a brand new adventure where we had zero experience about. Running an online business is pretty efficient, lean. Going to a brick and mortar, lots of overhead. We've never run in a coffee shop, worked in a coffee shop, so there's a lot of learning. But like Jamin said, we had each other, we had our network, we had our community. We knew we couldn't fail. It's just a matter of just showing up at this point, because we have been executing from the investment club to the coffee e-commerce store. We was executing. Now it's just a new challenge, and we've been running. I'm super proud of all the team. We opened up last Juneteenth of 2021. We're opening limited hours or limited days, but we're going to get there. We're going to be at full capacity. Just a matter of time.
Wow. Jamin?
For me, I'm actually going to take it back a bit, because the coffee shop has been I feel like it's a mile marker in a series of markers. So I'm actually going to take it back to our first live event. And this was in 2018 when we launched the business. So in February, we went live with the website and the social media accounts. And in March, we put our first product online, which happened to be this woke mug I'm sipping out of right here. Not this exact one, but one in many, many series of them, right? And that was a big moment for us. Our community, our day ones, day ones, like high school folks showed up and showed out like, hey, we want to support y'all. And that was just, wow, we didn't talk to y'all in 20 years. Y'all buying mugs from us? It's like, that was crazy. And then it was like, we're going to do coffee beans, and now we're going to get merch. And then we got a phone call or a DM about a request to do a live event. And it wasn't just any old live event. We were requested to come attend a fashion show in Hollywood Hills. That was going to be pretty much, up there in terms of the status and level and the attire. And it was a huge, huge production. And that was literally, we hadn't done any events together as a business, as a team. But we said, once that call came and we knew who the people were connected with, shout out Nicole Lionel, a powerful, dynamic, awesome person and dope entrepreneur. She's been killing it for years. So we were blessed to work with her and participate at her, the Big Payback. It was an interactive fashion event, had dope models and dope fashions and food and a DJ and a runway and this super dope house. And they wanted coffee there. And it really kind of solidified our saying that, we were developing in-house, that we were coming to a realization that coffee gets a seat at every table.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
kind of, it's real, like, because it fits in every arena. It fits in every meeting, in any business deal that's been done across the world, from the biggest deals. Coffee was most likely in that room, right? And so coffee's been the vehicle to allow us to pursue our goals and work with so many dope people. So we participated in that event, and I don't want to toot our own home, but I think we killed it. I think we did awesome. I think we exceeded our own expectations for what we would do. And we proved that coffee could be seen in a new light. Because yeah, we were suited and dressed, but we're still who we are to our core, and we exuded that through our business, and people gravitated towards us. And from there, the pop-up kings were born.
Wow. Oh my goodness. This is just such an exciting conversation. Oh my goodness. Well, as we come to the end of the conversation, we always come to the part where I want you guys to just share something directly with the viewers. What message, what motivation, what do you want to say to the viewers? And then, of course, be sure to plug where we can find everything. So, what is your message to the viewers?
I'll keep it very simple. If you're pursuing entrepreneurship, you have a goal or anything, just start. Don't try to do it all in one day, or don't try to solve it all at one time. Take a small step towards that goal, towards that passion, towards creating new habits, whatever that may be. We found that was our true power as a company. We wasn't afraid to start. We started out rough, but the most important thing was that we started. We just got the flywheel moving. So I would just say, just start. Keep it simple.
I love it.
I'm going to go with, after you start, but find your tribe, build your community, your network, your target market, your key demo, however you want to phrase it. You're going to need support, and it's going to need people who identify with you. You can have a great product, you can have a great service, you can have the dopest idea in the world, but if the people can't identify with you, that support isn't going to be genuine. So you have to put it all out there. Don't be afraid to be intentional and speak about what you're pursuing. It's going to get judged. It's going to get criticized. It's going to not be understood, but still put it out there, because it's going to connect with people. And that's my, put your message out there. Don't be afraid to show who you are and what your intentions are, because you'll be surprised at who actually connects to you.
Wow. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, guys. And then again, like I said, share with those listening and watching. Where can we find you? I see you got your merchandise there, your mug, the coffee. Where can we get all these goodies?
Yeah, so first, we want to definitely shout out the other co-founders, Chris Bowden, Gino Jones, Brandon Cole. Super shout out to you all. But yeah, everything can be purchased online, theblackcoffeecompany.com. Our Instagram handle is BLKCOFFEECO, Black Coffee Co. If you're in Atlanta, please visit our coffee shop. We're open, so please. It is a must visit location.
Yes.
Am I missing anything else, Jamin?
No, definitely. We're on all social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. We create our own content. We put it all out there. We're all about just building organically with folks that are really about building for the community and building about progress. I would be remiss if I didn't shout out Leonard, got our co-founders. I mentioned our extended network and our team, our cooperating group, because I know it's 5 of us who started this business, but it's truly grown into a family. I got to shout out my big brother, Tim Butler. He heads up a lot of our Houston operations. We have to shout out Evelyn LeBlanc. She just recently joined our team as director of operations. She's going to be handling a lot of administrative work, getting our logistics together. Got to shout out our wives. There's so many our partners: Shannon Stone, Tanisha Lightfoot, Anastasia Cole, Marissa, and my beautiful wife, Erin Butler. Thank y'all all for just pouring into us, supporting us, being understanding, challenging us, and loving us, because it takes all of that to build. And and everybody, all our dope supporters, everybody that pours into this business, we do it for y'all.
Wow.
DMC.
I love it. Thank you guys so much. This has been an amazing conversation. I love your attitude, your spirit, your humility, and then the fact of what you're bringing to the community, not just in a product, but in a message, in a mission. So I love that. Thank you all. I will continue to support and send people your way. I will be in Atlanta soon, so I will be stopping by before the year is out, hopefully. So I'm just excited to be connected with you all, and I definitely wish you continued success and look forward to even some future collaborations. So awesome, guys.
Thank you so much. We truly
Yes.
appreciate it.
Thank you. And to those of you who have been watching, listening, thank you for tuning in to Pivotal Moments. I appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time on Pivotal Moments with Lolita.